My guest, Frank Darras. Frank is the top insurance attorney in the country. And Frank, kids are heading off to college right now. There's some insurance that we need to be pretty aware of as parents to make sure that we have proper coverage for them, to make sure that, we don't have any unforeseen losses from our kids being out of our sight.
You got it. We're going to send about 50 million kids to secondary schools this year, and that's a lot of kids going to college. Three things we need to think about. We got to think about renter's insurance, got to think about car insurance, and we got to think about health insurance.
So renter's insurance, your kids are heading out the door. They're taking probably a whole bunch of expensive stuff. Your own homeowner's policy may or may not cover losses.
In the first year, if they're living in a dormitory, think about this. Last year, 4,000 fires in the university resident halls and over 12,000 thefts. That certainly, for me, demonstrates the need for kids to protect their property while at school. Now, if your kid lives in a dorm, your homeowner's insurance may cover their possessions in the dorm or even off campus. It depends on your policy, and the coverage amount is going to be extremely limited.
And you may have the ability to, can you add a rider onto your homeowners, or do you need a separate policy for them?
No, you just have to do an accounting, or, what I tell people is, as you're packing the stuff into the car, it's a great time to itemize the list. And when you think about it, you look at what our kids are going to take. That laptop, the cell phone, clothes, shoes, a TV, you got books, you got furniture, you got a bicycle. Hey, you got 10 grand worth of personal property in a hurry. I love renter's insurance, and you can get it for your kid, and it's cheap as all get out. It's stupid cheap in insurance words. It's $15 to $30 a month, and you can insure up to 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand of personal property when your kid goes to school. And Ed, it gives you one more benefit. My daughter went to college last year. She's sharing a house with 9 other girls. When I went to visit, I saw cords for the curler, the hair dryer, all the different things that are around that particular house. It had a balcony, and all I could think about was somebody's going to trip over one of these hair dryer cords, or they're going to have a party and somebody's going to take the loop-de-loop off the balcony. It gives them liability coverage in case someone gets injured on the property.
You talk about loading up that car with all these possessions. You better make sure that car is properly covered, too.
Once the kids, if they're going out of state, absolutely. Our kids can certainly be covered under our own auto insurance. But one of the things that we lose track of, it's different if the kids are home. We see them backing out of the driveway, and gee whiz, if something happens, we know the friend that might be bringing them home in their car. But kids under the age of 22 account for 13.4% of the driving population. But surprisingly, they account for 30% of all the car accidents. And when we send our kids to school, that college campus presents a whole new set of risks for us as parents. We know our kids, we know their driving history, but those keys are going to be sitting on top of their desk. They got a roommate without a car. They got somebody else that needs the car to go get laundry or food or this, and that car becomes the community car of the dorm. Got to be really, really careful as we educate our kids about who's got insurance and who doesn't have insurance, and who are we lending that car to.
The kids are in the car. They could possibly get in an accident. There could be some medical claims there. Health insurance is so important.
Our kids are going out of state for school. Out of state means they can't get to the local provider. You can't get to the in-network doctor. Can't get to the in-network hospital. Everything's out of network. I love the college campus health insurance. It gives them a chance for cheap dollars to go to the local college infirmatory, local doctors, local hospitals. It's a must if your kids are going out of state.
That's great advice. Take advantage of the local health insurance available through the college pretty darn inexpensive when you compare it to other types of insurance available. Great advice as always, Frank. He's with DarrasLaw.com. Frank's the top insurance attorney in the country. Always brings us good advice. Thanks so much, Frank. So if your kids are heading off to college, remember renter's insurance for their possessions, proper coverage for that car, and you may want to take advantage of the college's health insurance plan. You're listening to Simply Money here on 55 KRC, the talk station.